Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to bring out the details in a foggy night photo using Capture One Pro. We all know that fog can create an amazing mood, but it also hides a lot of details. Sometimes the colors are washed, sometimes you lose details in the shadows. So in this video, I'll walk you through my process to make the image pop while keeping that cinematic atmosphere, while making the colors stand out. So let's get started. Um, so I have this photo that we're gonna try to make it into some color scheme like this. This is the original one. I want to go with some tone of like a green because I like this atmosphere. It's more, I was thinking about some kind of like the Matrix Reloaded color. So, but first we need to bring out the details of the fog because right now it's a bit gone. So when I move the mouse in Capture One here, you can see the curve panel shows where those colors are. So we need to highlight this, raise it here, and you can see now that we have a lot of fog. Um, we're gonna bring this down a little bit. I also want to bring down the highlights to recover some details. You can see that here, otherwise it will bleed a lot, the light. So we want to keep that conservative. And I'm gonna do a little bit of this of fading, not too much. And I think we have already something good. I'm gonna up the saturation just a little bit, and gonna bring up some details with the clarity, and also yeah. So to go with this green color scheme, I'm gonna bring down a little bit of red, and also a little bit of the blue, and there we have it already. But at this point it's a little bit too green, so I'm gonna go to the colorizing panel, to the color balance, and I'm gonna tint the midtones in a brown because I want it to be like a warm green, not just like a very cold green, which is what we will have. And, and there we have it, basically this color scheme with very few adjustments. We managed to get this. I'm gonna go and do a little bit of this. I'm gonna up a bit the contrast using this. Yeah, so we're bringing up the highlights and the fog quite a bit. Yeah, I like that. There we have it. It might not be similar to the other one because I'm going without a script, but this is basically the idea of having this. I think we need a bit more of warmth, so I'm gonna push this just a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. Like that. As a final step, I'm gonna add some sharpening because sometimes the Fujifilm photos are not as sharpened by Capture One by default, which I think is also actually good because you don't want to overdo it. So I'm gonna go with this just a little bit there. And let's see the photo before and after. So you can see that clearly changed a lot. And this photo was using a similar approach. You can see it has this green color scheme, the shades. Yeah. Using this technique, it's possible to enhance the fog and to bring up the colors of almost every photo. So we just need to see which area. Basically, it's gonna be around the same area that we need to increase. It's always gonna be somewhere here. We can increase this. Then we need to up the highlights a bit more. Increase the saturation. Yeah, and maybe if you want, you can push the shadows for a different technique than the other one. But we want to keep it contained, so let's bring down this. Yeah, maybe we can play with the luma. some more detail. You can see that already we brought up a lot of details in the scene. We can up the saturation a bit more, and we can also use the colorizing panel instead of the curve if you find it easier. So you can basically do something like this in the shadows using the color wheel. Maybe darken it a little bit. And there it is. Now we colorize it another photo. The same technique can be used for other photos like this one, for example. I'm gonna start already with the color, so you can push it all you want, and then let's open the shadows up, bring up some clarity to highlight some details, and then let's apply the usual trick with this curve. Some fade in there, and then up the saturation. Yeah. And there you have it. You restore a bit of details here, there. So this same technique you can apply to all your foggy photos. You can see it's similar. You can always change the color that you're using here. Maybe blue contrasts more with the warm midtones. You can also tweak the midtones here from this panel. Yeah. And using the color balance, you can always tweak the color of all the photos. These are all photos I made in Hamburg during a foggy night, which usually is around December, January. The nights are very foggy in Hamburg sometimes. And it's because of the cold air that comes from the North Sea, and then clashes with the warm air of inland and the city, and that creates the fog. This is a very typical place of Hamburg, the Speicherstadt, and again we can use a similar technique of opening up the shadows, up in the saturation, and then tweak the curve to our purposes. It goes really quick. You can also not use this the typical vignette, but you can use a mask here if you want to highlight something in particular. Yes. And you can create a vignette, customize a vignette like that. Now we're focusing only on the Wasserschloss. Such is the name of this. And there you have it. All these tweaks are you never want to go overboard with the photos, because otherwise they start looking very too processed, extremely processed. So just keeping it the adjustment to a minimum while it's still looking good. So yeah, I think this one ended up much better because the highlight on the Wasserschloss is much stronger than the other one. So yeah, that was the video. I hope you learned some techniques of what we saw, colorizing, using this trick of the curve, the fade, and looking forward to see what you will do with all your photos and the foggy photos, which is a great mood to make photos with. See you next time.